So it's really weird to me how people always seem to have issues with, I guess, employees working in the service industry. It's so weird because I'm a manager at a grocery store. I manage. I'm uh, I'm barely managing to manage. But people will ask you, especially at a grocery store, and I know at various other stores, they'll be like, "Well, can you look in back and see if there's something there?" It's like, bitch, I already know what's in back. I'm First of all, I'm the manager. I don't know what you're expecting me to look for. I already know what's back there. There are people under me who might not necessarily know what's back there, but I myself do know what's back there. So when I tell you no, and here's the thing, they'll always be like, oh, and they'll have this like sort of conversation with you where it's like, well, no, you should check him back, just check him back, just in case. And I'm like, I okay, let me go ahead and check him back. Let me go ahead. I'll go check him back for you. I already know it's not back there, but let me go ahead just for your sake. Let me go ahead and check. Then I go, I just I do go check just in case. I mean, what if I'm wrong? And there was one time where I was wrong, but every single other time it's like, yeah, bitch, there's a reason why I told you we didn't have it. I don't know what else I can tell you. Go to Jewel. If Jewel has it, go to Jewel. If Mariano's has it, go to Mariano's. If any other store has it, go to that other store. I it's it's not anything personal for me. So why would you think that I'm like hiding it over there in back? Like I'm not. I would love to have you have your item that you want. And if you can't find it at my store, I'm telling you, fucking go to Jewel. Go to wherever you want. And but and just in general, I think that would be my general rant about working at a grocery store and also managing that same grocery store. And obviously, my video looks pretty terrible. It looks like I have it pretty crappy. Yeah, even my hands, they seem like they're like, they're pretty kind of up in your face. So I guess it doesn't matter if it's live. I can just do whatever I want. All right. So okay. So it's kind of I'm not pressured into doing anything. I can do whatever I want. All right, then I'll tell the story about the other day. I had to call the police on because I was the manager at the grocery store, and there were probably in total about 400 people there, just bragging. That was a lot of people. Half of them were customers. I think it got pretty busy, but also so a customer came up to the desk and complained, saying that there was this guy outside who was harassing one of the Salvation Army girls. There was a Salvation Army girl on one side, on our north side, and there was a Salvation Army guy on our other side. We have two entrances. One's on the north, one's on the south. Anyway, this guy came up to our north girl, and he basically was trying to steal money out of her tin or whatever it's called. And he also asked her, like, how much money can you hold in there? And this girl was like, she told me later, she was like, I've been working here for a long time. Turns out uh, those people get paid generally. They're not just like, uh, volunteers and stuff like that. They get paid probably about the same that I do to manage a grocery store. So it's like, oh, like I should get paid for that. Um, anyway, she was freaking out about it. And so a customer came in. A customer specifically told the guy, this random customer saw the guy doing whatever he was doing, harassing her in some way, and came in to complain. They came in to complain, and I happened to be up front, and so I immediately was like, okay, I'm I was already in the process of walking over there. And in the background I was hearing what they were saying about what was happening. But I was already I was on a beeline towards there. And as soon as I walked outside, the what do you call it? I keep forgetting the name of the whatever it was. The girl with the fucking thing, with the bell ringer. As soon as she saw me, she was like, "Hey, yeah, no, there's this guy who's like, he's he was trying to take shit out of my tin and whatever." And I was like, "Well, fuck, where's he at?" And she was like, "Well, I think he's over there." And she pointed over towards the other Salvation Army guy on the other end of our store. And I was like, "Well, fuck!" Like, and she was like, "Oh no, that's him right there," because I can see him from right here. He's standing kind of in the parking lot, and so you could see him. And so I walked straight over, and I said, I just walked straight up to them, and I said, "Hey, guys, like, is there an issue here?" And he was like, "No, dude, no, there's no issue. It's all good. It's all good. There's no issue." Meanwhile, the Salvation Army guy didn't say a word. He was just quiet that whole time. So I'm asking this guy who I've already heard complaints about, and I talked to the other Salvation Army person who complained. So it's like I just need to get this guy out of the vicinity of the store. So I just stood there, and I was just kind of like sitting there like this, like, all right, so you leaving? Like I basically at one point I said, like, dude, I need you to leave, or I'm gonna call the cops. I don't know how else to do it. That's what I'm gonna do. He was like, no, bro. He was like, no, I'm leaving. Don't worry about it. We don't need any cops involved. It's good. It's whatever. And I was like, okay. Still just standing here, and the dude was randomly just still kind of standing there for some reason. It was like, you understand the implications, right? Like I'm standing here for a reason. I'm waiting for you to leave. and and so eventually I think I repeated myself and said, like, dude, I brought up my phone and I was like, here's my phone. I'll call them right now. And he was like, "Oh no, dude, like, no, it's all good. I'm leaving. Like, don't let the cops be involved," and blah blah blah. So he goes to his truck. And then the what do you call them again? What the fuck they're called with the things and they jingle the bells. That guy who hadn't been talking at all, he then started talking once this guy left. And he basically said, he was like, no, the guy never really threatened me, but based on what you were saying, yeah, I think he definitely threatened her and she got scared and blah blah blah. And also he's got a girlfriend. And I was like, wait. I was like, he's got a where the fuck is his girlfriend? He's got a girlfriend? Where the fuck is she at? Because I would like to know, because I'm a manager. I'm managing. So then, like, literally 5 seconds later, this girl comes walking up from the same spot where the guy was parked at. And it was like, okay. And so I was like, hey, dude, is it this girl who's walking right up to us right now? And he looked over and he was like, yeah, that's her. And I was like, oh, great. So then, and so she came up and she said, she was like, no, we were just looking for cigarettes. Like, that's it. No big deal. Like, blah, blah, blah. But then she walked right around me into my store. She walked straight into my store. But meanwhile, I'm also trying to keep an eye on this boyfriend who said that he was leaving. And now it's like, well, wait a minute. You said you were leaving, but your girlfriend's going into my store. So you're not leaving. What he did was he backed out of the parking space and then pulled all the way around back to where I was standing at the front of the store. And at that point, I was like 911. Got it ready to go. I don't give a shit about this guy. I'm trying to get away from this guy. He fucking pulls up his pickup truck and follows me into the store as I'm talking with dispatch on 911 or whatever. And I walk up to the front desk because I'm looking for people to support me or something. And dispatch asked me, like, what does this guy look like? And I'm like, well, he looks like he's got like an orange Nike shirt and I think he's like middle aged. Yeah, he's white and he's got like a baseball cap on and stuff like that. He's standing right next to me. Can you please send somebody over? And they did. And so I was still on the phone with dispatch and I walked back over to the front of the store and and the lady on the dispatch was like, I ended up seeing the police lights or whatever from reflections in the window. So I said, like, oh yeah, I can see police are here now. And she was like, okay, just talk to them. Like, you don't have to talk to me anymore. You're good. I was like, okay, thank you. Hung up. Went to go talk to the police. This guy is still following me. He followed me right to his own fucking car because he pulled up his own. It was a pickup truck, but he pulled up his own fucking pickup truck right to the front of the store. And now he's got two policemen sitting behind him like that. And the first one has their lights shining right on his car. It's like, dude, you're an idiot. What the fuck are you doing? And meanwhile, they called we had another manager at that same moment who basically said, like, they went on the intercom. They said, like, Mike, call station 200, like, call the front desk. So Mike called the front desk and they were like, hey, Mike, Matt, which is my name. They're like, hey, Mike, Matt just called the police or whatever, and he's out front with the police right now. You might want to check it out and see what's going on." He came out, and I explained the situation to him, and he was like, "Okay, yeah, like, it's this situation where you got to call the cops. There's no other way about it. These people were fucked up. They were on some drug. They were fucking around." And then also, I found out later that the girl had been in and out of my store 3 times. And each of those 3 times, she was wearing a different hat, which means she kept several hats in the truck. And then she would, like, as some sort of disguising tactic or whatever, she would put on a different hat, go into the store, steal something, probably something small but expensive. She would steal that, then go back in, do the same thing, and go back in, do the same thing. But luckily, a customer complained about her boyfriend, and I was able to catch them before they were able to do their third act. But they did 2, I guarantee you that, because I caught them on the third. As explained to me by the Salvation Army woman. So I could go much deeper into it, but it was kind of an exciting night. Most of my nights aren't that exciting, so that's all I can say about it. How the fuck do I stop this now? I'd like to. Okay, let's try.